Hello, welcome to another video. This is Cindy. Today I'm going to share with you my grandmother's homemade fudge cake recipe. I know you're going to love it. I'm just getting everything ready so we can get started. The recipe calls for 2 cups of sugar creamed with a half a stick of butter. And if you don't know how to do that, you just put that butter in there at room temperature so it's nice and soft, and you just keep mixing it in with the sugar until it's all mixed together. This is how it should look when it's done. Add your 2 eggs to the mixture, and then put your flour, your self-rising flour, and your cocoa into a sifter and sift that. And make sure you use the self-rising flour, because if you don't, your cake will not rise. Add in 1 1/2 cups of buttermilk and your 1 teaspoon of vanilla flavoring, and then use your electric mixer and mix that all up. I usually mix it for about 2 minutes. This is how the cakes should look while they're baking, and if they don't, then you probably used the wrong kind of flour. Now let's get busy making that yummy fudge icing. To make my icing, I use 2 cups of sugar, 2 tablespoons of cocoa, 1 teaspoon of vanilla flavoring, 2 tablespoons of butter, and 2/3 a cup of milk. You might decide you want more icing, so if you do, I broke the recipe down into another half of recipe, and that would be only 1 cup of sugar, 1 tablespoon of cocoa, 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla, 1 tablespoon of butter, and 1/3 a cup of milk. And in case I didn't tell you, this icing you cook on the stove because it is pure fudge delicious. You will want to cook it on medium heat on the stove, and you want to cook it until it comes to a boil. So be patient because it does take some time. And when it's ready, it will start to boil and then thicken just a little bit, and then you'll be ready to test it. You can usually tell when it's almost ready because it'll start to cook down and start to thicken some. And then I do what's called the soft ball test. And you just drop a little bit of the icing down into a cup of cold water. And if it's done, it will start to form a little soft ball like you saw on my finger. On this cake, you kind of want to tap the sides of the pan and the bottom to make sure that it doesn't stick, because sometimes this one is a little harder to get out of the pan. And butter your plate before you put the cakes on it. I always poke a few holes in the cake so that some of the yummy frosting can go down into the cake. And you can use a coffee stir or maybe a flour nail or something like that to poke the holes. Now I'm going to start icing the cake, and you do put the frosting on warm onto a warm cake, so it'll kind of puddle around the bottom, so it's kind of messy, but you just keep on scooping that frosting up and working your way around the cake. Repeat the same process with the top layer. Whatever you do, make sure you use a turntable, because this icing sets up really fast and it will be like a hard fudge when it's done. It's all done. Yum, yum. Normally I serve it just the way it is, but this time I think I'm going to decorate it with some strawberries. Maybe some chocolate covered strawberries. I'm using the same fudge icing, but added a little bit of the white frosting to it for my decorations, but it still sets up pretty fast, so I have to work really, really fast. It's all done, and I think it looks pretty good. And you know what? It's going to taste pretty good as well. Look how moist. They never last long around here.
Look at my mouth.
Is it good? I hope you enjoyed the video. Please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and turn on those notifications.